everyone. Salute Masquara. Ngiyanibingelela nonke Mzansi Jikelele. I'm so much grateful to be alive and to be healthy, and I'm still here, Bafetu. So I'm very much grateful for this life. I'm very much grateful to be able to still be doing what I'm doing. I want to talk about a few things that I really feel I need to talk about them. Okokuqala, I do appreciate kakhulu for his support. Everyone obheke i-content yami, right from when I started up to where I am. Ngicela ukubonga kakhulu bafethu. It really means a lot to me, and I'm always praying to God to keep me humble, because I've seen people mabekhula, when they grow in life, when they start having money, they start to develop the arrogance, and they start to swear at people, and doing all those funny things. I mean, I'm just praying to God to always be humble. And la kubuhlungu khona bafethu askis, but we are trying to build a society. And then we have been quiet for the longest time about what is happening. For the past 30 years, in fact, we have given ANC 30 years to change things. And I individually have come to realize that ANC is not serious about changing black people's lives. And I don't know how to express or to explain this to someone. But when you see black people continuing to suffer, to be marginalized, to be poor, to be unemployed, to be orphans, and staying in squatter camps, that's why this channel, I named it Squatter Camp, deliberately so, because in Plome Squatter Camp number fit, and I'm as poor as those people who are staying there at the squatter camps. Kunzima impilo inzima bafethu, and like I'm saying we have been quiet for the longest time, and now it's time we start talking now, and we at least luckily got ama-platforms anjengo YouTube, so to express ourselves, because we don't have anywhere to express ourselves. And then we are worried i-country yethu iyaphi, where are we going as black people? It's more like we are losing ourselves. Our leaders are messing up, and then I'm just a concerned citizen. Mina ngi-out yaseKasi nje ethanda ukuthi i-share ama-views wayo, ngumuntu okhulumayo even off the camera. The problem that I actually had was being too shy to be on camera, and how are people going to receive you, reception, how people are going to feel about you, and all of that. It's a human nature. It's like when you're going for an interview, you are nervous. That nervousness, that's what I'm actually talking about. So I really appreciate you supporting Itolayo, and then I will continue to do the content, and I will speak to what I really feel we really need to talk about, especially politics, because politics is part of our lives, whether we like it or not. On a daily basis, all the political decisions that our politicians are taking there affects us. If bathi ukudla kuyakhuphuka, it affects us. Even somebody who's not a politician gets really affected. Futhi abantu aba-affecteka kakhulu labo ke. And then we really have to keep on expressing ourselves. Mhlampe our leaders will watch these videos and they will start listening to us. Mina ngumuntu othanda ukuthi when somebody tells me something, I like going through that, and then so that I can get my own analysis ukuthi, does this make sense or it doesn't make sense? I don't agree to everything that is being told to me, and I feel it's sort of the operation. We have to agree to what our politicians are saying without questioning anything. We really have to question them. we need to get South Africa talking. We need to really get South Africa in conversation and a friendly dialogue. I would gyaliwa or in or siyaxabana, siyathukana, disrespectana in. No, we're just talking as citizens. And then as far as we have issues, every country has got its own issues. Like now, the unrest in Mozambique, Galiwa and all of that. So it feels good when we talk about these things. And then we are also human. Tina Banbawa YouTube, abayenzi content. We're also human, and then we are not perfect. Therefore, so we along the way we make mistakes. As far as we are human beings, and where we make mistakes, we should be able to acknowledge and we should be able to correct our mistakes. And then it shouldn't be really more like Abantu Babasbega, they see perfect people. It becomes a problem when Abantu Babasbega njengomuntu perfect. So we're trying to build a society. At the same time, we are human, we make mistakes, but we still continue to do our thing. Not everything is okay in our country. Not everything is okay with our politics. ANC has lost the majority, 50+%. It's actually declining. The leadership is fading away. They've lost the vision. They sold out the struggle and all of that. And so we are concerned citizens. And an issue, Babu Krizani. The reason why I mentioned Tuguti, I was actually questioning Uguti, why was Babu Krizani assassinated? We never got answers until today. We never got answers Uguti why Yunus Walus assassinated Babu Krizani and who sent him to do that. Yabo. So it's still a concern. And if a problem arises today, you don't solve it, you don't attend to it, it will always haunt you. And we know for sure Uguti, the Hani family is still railing in pain and they still want answers. But the same Ramaphosa, who was there in 1991 when Mandela was released in prison, or 1990, somewhere there, I might not be accurate anyway. I think about a lot of things, by the way. Is the person who released Yunus Walus. In his presidency, is the one who released Yunus Walus. And that man went back to his home country, by the way, he went back to his country. He was deported back to his country because Bayambale is, so that he doesn't actually spill the beans. But we still want to know why was Babu Krizani assassinated? Who sent Yunus Walus to assassinate Babu Krizani? Those are the questions which I believe somehow someone must come and answer. Because Abu, the late de Klerk, refused to cooperate with we continue to see arrogance. Yes, he passed away, and respectfully so, may his soul rest in peace. Abu de Klerk. That is why EFF was actually still angry with him, because remember they invited him in parliament and he came to parliament. He sat there in parliament and EFF said, no, we can't have this man in our parliament because the man still owed us an explanation. And Bafana Qiniso, by the way, unfortunately ANC lets them. ETRC never helped us in any way because there's never been truth that was told in the TRC. People were just doing as they please. It's like the state capture. The state capture was a very futile exercise because until today, hundreds and hundreds of millions were spent. In fact, more than 1 billion was spent there. And then nobody's saying anything now. No one is arrested and nothing happened. And I want to quickly clarify this and repeat it. If I was Jacob Zuma, I will also refuse to go and continue to testify. Because that is a kangaroo court. I still maintain that Jacob Zuma was right by refusing to go to the Zondo Commission, because the very same Zondo is the gentleman who was representing Zuma. He was a Zuma guy, you know, for a lack of a better word. And so, I mean, he was Ramaphosa guy, sorry. He was a Ramaphosa guy, and then he was actually having a soft spot for Ramaphosa and coming hard on Zuma. And Zuma quickly realized that. Remember, Zuma is very smart. He's a very smart politician of our time that I know of now. We can't deny that. You know, Jacob Zuma outsmart people who are academics. Remember, recently now he recruited Floyd and Darlene Pofu, and those people are academics, are people who really went to school and studied higher degrees and all of the PhDs, but an old man who never really went to school managed to convince them to leave their 10-year-old party and come to a less than 1 year party. By the way, recently MK was celebrating 1 year. So you can see how powerful is Zuma, and he's very smart. He's very smart. He knows how to play politics. And then where ANC couldn't really deal with him, that I realized that now Abasaz with Benzen. Zuma last year on the 16th of December announced ukuthi uyayi-endorsa i-MKP. Uyayi-endorsa i-MKP, but he will remain in ANC. ANC cadres or politicians or comrades didn't know what to do with that. It was a signature, so it was a statement that he made to them. He was challenging them psychologically. These guys, do they know how to make their calculations? Do they know how to do mathematics? And they didn't know actually. Abantu abanjengaboFikile Mbalula bahlala better in a sense that they don't understand. They are too loud, but they can't analyze issues, serious issues, when they have to sit down and think us. In fact, let me say, he's too loud, but he's not a critical thinker. Like, uhlulekile ukuthi acharge uPanyaza Lesufi because he didn't know what to say to him. Panyaza Lesufi gave him 2-3 reasons. What did I do? Where and how and who? And then now Fikile didn't know what to say further. Because why? He is not a thinker. He didn't actually plan that. He's a messenger. He's taking instructions from Ramaphosa. And like I said to Uti, Ramaphosa he's just there to sign contracts. The same thing that Julius Malema said. He is there to sign contract and then to accumulate more wealth and then to have superpower, and also for the benefits. Maupuma, as a former statesman, you know, you still remain with a convoy, nan pila mahala, awuthenga ugesi, awuthenga amanzi, awubhadala ama-levies, baphila mahala nabo. They've got state houses and everything. The concern starts now when they disown people in the squatter camp. They don't really help people to get out of poverty. Because remember, by voting for them, we put them there to represent us. We put them there to change the economic situation. Ukuthi economic kumele ikhule, umnotho yabo ube right nje, abantu baphile, and promote social welfare, of which our politicians are there just for profit and to enrich themselves, which is very much concerning. That is why people like us have come to YouTube to say, hey guys, niyayibona lento yenzakalayo la, so that tomorrow when things falls apart, basho ukuthi bakhona abantu abeke bafika bavula ama-YouTube channels and talk about these things. So it's really important to engage nabantu. We're not here to cause any harm, but we are here to speak the truth and also to share views, because it's part of the freedom of expression, which ukhulume, state your opinion and let people think about it and let people engage about it. It's fair enough. It's fair enough. I mean, I've got a problem with someone who is destructively criticizing. You must criticize, but at the same time provide solutions. So I'm criticizing, but here's a solution. So we can't let things to fall apart. Situlile. Sasa, when our kids are starting to question us real questions now, what is your role? What was actually your role when things are falling apart like this? And then uthi hayi besinokuthi sikhulume ngayo namajita ekhoneni, but it doesn't make sense anyway. So we really have to stand up. We really have to talk about this thing. It's time for South Africa to stand up and get talking, to talk about these things, because we've got so many issues that are popping up like a popcorn, and then by the looks, these issues will persist until us as citizens we stand up and say, let's confront these issues. What went wrong and where did we go wrong? We've got students, graduate, ama degree are useless. How can you go to school for 4 years, ufunda, cross night, wenza everything, sacrifice, and after that you don't get a job? Is that what you plan? Would you go to varsity not to get a job, or you go to varsity to get education? So you run away from poverty. That's my understanding. That's my analysis. If you go and do a 5-year course, you don't expect to be employed after 5 years. So now our the graduate medical doctors protesting, which is something that never happened in the history of South Africa, even during the apartheid time. Well, we had less or least black doctors then, because they will just allow you to be a teacher, or you can be a nurse, or what these professions, or a policeman. You can't be something else. But I'm just saying, since the democratic dispensation, it was for the very first time seeing medical doctors protesting for jobs. We knew, even when we were growing up, when you study to become a doctor, maybe time we knew or no, when you graduate you are already employed. But now they are struggling jobs like us. It's so sad, man, because to study to become a medical doctor, it's 7 years. 7 years. So 7 years of your life is just wasted. So it's so sad. And then if we don't address these issues, I can tell you now, we are going to be worse after 2029, because now in 2029 there's going to be elections. So we want to conscientize these politicians when they go there, they should know exactly what to do and how to do things. Because if they don't learn a lesson, let's not vote for them. Let's not vote. Let's share these votes among themselves. Then let's see how they govern. Gaten McKenzie, MKP, EFF, everybody there. Then I kekeleze there. So that all of them, now they have to share power. Because if you give them the majority power, outright majority, and then they become arrogant, and all of that. And how does it make you feel when you see a politician wearing a matrix suit at 27,000, knowing what you struggle for his part? Endlini ulambile akunakudla fokol. Lo muntu makazofika ngama election time athi umvotela, are you going to vote for that person? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I don't know South Africa. I'm just being naive or something, but are you going to vote for that person ogcoka matrix suit at 27,000? Or umuntu ogcoka izicathulo ze 30,000? Azobuya athi wena umvotela. It means you must continue to vote for that person so they can wear 30,000 shoes. It's so sad. It's so sad. People are pretentious. These politicians are pretentious. They don't mean what they say. This is the lesson that I learned in my life, by the way. Let me share this with you. I have learned to actually look at the actions and not to listen to people. So when you say something to me, I don't take what you are saying. I look at your actions. And your actions will speak louder than what you said. That is why in slow but the action speaks louder than words. So we shouldn't let our politicians to play around, to climb over our head, because they think they think we are stupid. So literally, we need to stop there to go to spachel, go to merchants, and it's not like you are in heaven. NC will rule until Jesus Christ comes. Arrogance, high arrogance, very, very arrogant. NC much, it got 30%. It could have even gotten less. My analysis then was that ANC was going to get less than 40%. Fortunately enough nje baphunyukile so kancane, but they are still not safe. Because why? The behavior doesn't change. Albert Einstein washo in one of his quotes ukuthi a definition of stupidity is when someone continue to do the same thing and expect different results. You can't do the same thing and expect different results. Bakhona ama-communists abu-Blade Nzimande ba-useless kakhulu. You don't know what exactly they are doing there. Tuku umuntu hayi uzokhuluma isense, tuku they do something horrible. They do the opposite, quite the opposite. Now uGwede Mantashe uhlezi le minerals and energy le. We issue a JAMA license to these foreign companies for mining. So bayamdiza benzani. Khona ikandalo kwaZondo Commission and all of that. But nothing happened to these politicians. And we must continue and glorify them and say they are our leaders. No, mina, don't count me in. I'm actually campaigning that. I'm campaigning against that. Our leaders are failing us big time. Orphan kids, they don't have shoes, they don't have food, they don't speed up patanisa nje siyasiza nje non-stop siyasiza. Omunye yena makaphethe imali kumele ayothenga utshwala be-100,000 per night. Ayile kuphi endaweni, I don't want to mention brands of people, otherwise it's their hassles. Abababizi laba bantu bayazela. So you are a millionaire in a very poor country, but at the same time you don't care when uphila ngathi you are in paradise there. How do you spend 100,000 per night in utshwala? Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense. In this country where there's high crime, where people are hungry, where people are unemployed, when you go and spend 100,000 a night? I fail to understand ukuthi, how are these people thinking actually? Somebody they think they've made it, they've arrived and no one can touch them. But those things that they do, that kind of a behavior will harm them. Tina ngeke sibayeke, tina siyobaqebula la ku YouTube. Siyobaqebula, siyobasika, sika badabula. Siyobasika tina la, sika marezi. Skitchima nabo ku touchline kanje. Yeah, we've got airtime ukuthi sibalande. People will watch and people will witness and people will start now to develop their conscience. They will regain their conscience. South Africans are not fools. You can fool them, but anyway, kukhona allows of fear khona nje ustadi. Just like now, my yehleli ANC to 40%. Do you think on the next election bazothola 50 plus majority? Do you think so? Do you think that magic will happen? It will never happen. It will never happen. My concern is one, ukuthi black people, we are not united. Instead of joining hands, see boom, a political party, A1, Astro. No. Umuyo yale, angit manje, the Johan Ruperts and the Oppenheimers are sponsoring these individuals to start their own politics. You know how expensive to start a political party? Ask Julius Malema. Julius Malema couldn't really start EFF. They were struggling. To an extent, they went to Mazoti, hey, Grootman, tell us, man, we want to open a political party. By the way, he denied to Mazoti gave him 500,000 to start a political party. Uti no, unkai 200. But unkai 5 clip. The 5 clip ale abeganga plan. And he couldn't even raise that 300,000 because it was 500,000 to open a political party. So the laws of South Africa, they are deliberately making it very difficult for people like us to start political parties, because for me, individually, if maybe I happen to want to start politics, I can't start a political party because I'm broke. So they know that I have some counter out, So I won't be able to start it because I will have to look for a sponsor. And your sponsor is your employer, by the way. I can't be sponsored to political party. I'm not interested in politics. And I'm very much happy because I'm not affiliated to any political party. You can go and check Google, check all these political parties. But check Kamalam. Kamalam has never been there. I've never vouched for any political party. I just vote to J. Sbono with Gwenzagalan. I'm just a citizen who votes. I'm not a politician, because I don't like politics, because you get to be subjected to someone's ideology. Nanome better Julius Malema telling illegal immigrants ukuthi they must find illegal ways to get into our country. We must still vote for him. Yeah, but we must still continue to worship him. Mom follower, mom remember, you don't have to stand against him. You can't challenge him. If you challenge him with Amara Julius mola upetile mola mfotsa ape ukasibi ya mshabi ape mola, then he fires you. It's like abafundisi emasontweni. That's the power they abuse. If they don't like you, they chase you out of their church because they believe they own those churches. The church doesn't belong to God, belong to abafundisi. That's why they chase people. Ukudlela umfazi namhlanje kusasa mamkonfronta uyaxotsha. Danki bahlali, cela nibe grant. Let me carry it off. Ngikhulumile, it's enough. Ngicela subscribe, hit the notification bell, ngibonge support 7 kulenda. So hlala sihlonipha bafethu. Danki, siyabonga Mzansi.